Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. In the local scene, the Provincial Engineer's Office will establish stricter guidelines for desilting and river restoration requests in Albay. This is outlined in the proposed resolution number 009, series of 2025, titled "A Resolution Respectfully Recommending to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay for the Passage of an Ordinance entitled Establishing the Guidelines and Procedures Relative to Desilting and River Restoration Requests from Concerned Entities within the Province of Albay." The ordinance aims to create strict procedural guidelines for submitting desilting and river restoration requests from concerned entities to protect the water system within the province. These entities may include individuals, groups, and organizations interested in desilting a particular area. After the submission of documents, the Provincial Composite Lahar Management Committee and Technical Working Group will evaluate the request. Currently, the committee is finalizing the draft resolution in collaboration with the Environment and Natural Resources Office, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and the Provincial Legal Office regarding the guidelines for the request before endorsing it to the Office of the Governor. In other story, the Provincial Tourism, Culture and Arts Office has urged the public to explore Department of Tourism, DOT accredited tourism establishments in Albay this summer. This encouragement arises from the compliance with accreditation standards for hotels and resorts, ensuring tourists receive high-quality services. The office specifically recommends resorts like Mississippi Bay and Patio de San Jose. For hotel accommodations, few suggestions include the Oriental Hotel in Legazpi, Elisa Hotel, Il Canville Hotel in Ligao, Hotel Fina in Tabaco, Ninong's Hotel, and the Pepperland Hotel in Legazpi. Additionally, the office encouraged the public to visit their website for an updated list of DOT accredited tourism establishments. In the national scene, the International Criminal Court is concerned additional charges of rape and torture against former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, as it proceeds with an investigation into alleged crimes against humanity during its violent drug war, according to a lawyer representing the victims. ICC-accredited Filipino lawyer Gilbert Andres said in an interview that the court's upcoming hearing for the confirmation of charges in September could broaden the range of accusations against Duterte. In February, the ICC prosecutors sought an arrest warrant for Duterte, citing alleged crimes against humanity, including murder, torture, and rape. Prosecutors believe there are reasonable grounds to regard Duterte as an indirect co-perpetrator. The arrest warrant application detailed 45 alleged murders, 4 cases of torture, and 3 incidents of rape, which the ICC prosecutor indicated may qualify as crimes against humanity. A 2019 report to the ICC prosecutor outlined instances where law enforcement officers supposedly raped women connected to suspected drug offenders, some of whom were later killed. The U.S. State Department also previously reported that 16 Filipino police officers were involved in 8 rape cases since 2017 during the peak of Duterte's anti-drug campaign. In other story, the Commission on Elections granted the Department of Agriculture an exemption from the election spending ban, allowing its 20 pesos rice project to proceed 3 weeks ahead of the May 12 midterm polls. In requesting the exemption, Agriculture Secretary Francisco Teo Laurel Jr. cited the need to continue providing critical food support for the masses. Laurel stated that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. authorized the 5 billion peso program to run initially until December, with the possibility of being extended until 2028. The launch will begin in the Western, Central, and Eastern Visayas, where there are available rice stocks and high demand for food support, according to Laurel. House Speaker Martin Romualdez supports the initiative, describing it as a good alternative to direct cash transfer. He also mentioned that a similar initiative is being successfully implemented in Camiguin Province. In other news, the Department of Information and Communications Technology is rapidly advancing efforts to expand free Wi-Fi access across the Philippines, with a goal of increasing public hotspots from the current 18,000 to 50,000, Secretary Henry Agude announced on Sunday. Agude stated that the initiative aligns with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive of no Filipino left behind or no Filipino left online, emphasizing that internet access must be made universal and safe for every citizen. To support this vision, the ICT is working to fulfill the requirements of the Free Public Internet Access Program, which mandates free internet services in public spaces. The official also mentioned that the agency is striving to more than double the number of Wi-Fi hotspots within this year. And in the news outside the country, Hamas is willing to agree to an arrangement to end the Gaza war, which would entail the one-time release of all remaining hostages and a 5-year halt to hostilities. On April 17, Hamas, which is against a partial ceasefire agreement, rejected an Israeli proposal that included a 45-day truce in return for the release of 10 living hostages. The group has consistently insisted that any truce must lead to the conclusion of the war, a complete withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza, a prisoner exchange, and immediate and adequate entry of humanitarian aid into the war-torn Palestinian territory. For its part, Israel demands the return of all hostages and the disarmament of Hamas and other armed groups in Gaza, the latter being a red line for the Islamist movement. And finally, in the news outside the country, hundreds of thousands of mourners gathered with world leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, to bid farewell on Saturday to Pope Francis, a champion of the poor who worked to create a more compassionate Catholic Church. The Vatican reported that 400,000 people flocked St. Peter's Square and lined the streets of Rome for the funeral of first Latin American leader of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics. After a solemn funeral service, the Argentine pontiff's simple wooden coffin, a testament to a life of humility, was slowly driven to Rome's Santa Maria Maggiore Church, where a private ceremony took place. Cardinals sealed the Pope's coffin with red wax before it was lowered into a tomb set within the alcove, according to images released by the Vatican. And that's all for the news at 12, April 28, 2025. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our news writer, Albay Lurejo and Erica Dumlao. And on the technical side, Chad Bobis. Of course, our Provincial Information Officer, Mary Luduga Castillo, and under the supervision of our Governor, Baby Glenda Ombungao, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.